Cool. And we figured out who was sharing. Good.
I am.
Yes.
Okay. All right, we're live on Facebook.
Okay. I'm just trying to get to the slideshow part. Okay. We've got some people in the chat. Can we let them in?
Yep.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for coming today. We're going to just give it a few minutes for people to get connected and into the room and comfortable. Okay. Got a few more people trickling in. What do you think, Jileesa? You ready?
Yep, I think so.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us today for our Tech Tuesday over the lunch hour. Today, we're going to be talking about assistive technology for gardening. Go to the next slide here. Just a little bit about who we are. We are from Michigan Disability Rights Coalition and from the Michigan Assistive Technology Program. Every state and territory has an assistive technology program, and MDRC is the home of the Michigan Assistive Technology Program. My name is Laura Hall. I go by she, her, hers are my pronouns. Um, I am a person who uses a power wheelchair. I have cerebral palsy. Take a lot of pride in my disability. I am not a master gardener. I'm not even, I don't even think I'm a very good gardener, but I'm a person with a disability who loves to garden. And so I am certainly by no means an expert in this area, but I've learned a lot as we've been gardening, as I've been gardening over the last season, and I'm excited to share some things with you along with Jileesa. Jileesa, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes. So I'm Jileesa Irwin. My pronouns are she, her, and hers. I am the MATP outdoor recreation specialist at MDRC. And today I'm wearing a blue shirt and my hair is up in a messy bun.
And Asian needs our chat moderator for today. That means she's going to help us keep things moving in the chat so everyone's able to share and hear what's going on. Asian, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, thank you, Laura. My name is Ajane, and I am the MATP Youth Specialist here at MDRC, and I am wearing a orange sweater, and I have black frame glasses, and I am of brown skin with brown hair pulled into a back ponytail. Hi, everyone.
And I don't know if I did a visual description. I'm a white woman with shoulder length brown hair and dark rimmed glasses. Today I'm wearing a burgundy top. Okay, going to the next slide. Okay.
All right. So here at MDRC, our mission is that MDRC cultivates disability pride, strengthens the disability movement by recognizing disability as a natural and beautiful part of human diversity, while collaborating to dismantle all forms of oppression. And this really shows in all of the work that we do. Um,
Yep.
so yes.
Most of the people who work on our program are people with disabilities. So we like to say that our services are for people with disabilities, by people with disabilities. We're proud of having disabilities and are proud to share the AT that we also use. Okay.
So Michigan Assistive Technology Program, or also known as MATP, um, that's what we do. So assistive technology is any item, piece of equipment, software, or system that is used to help people with disabilities, including older adults, do what they want to do. We provide AT related supports around the entire state. And we normally do this by doing hands-on demonstrations of AT devices. We make sure that there's awareness of information. We do trainings. Uh, we have a loan program. And if there's any items that you may need, you can go to the atexchange.org for these items.
Our loan program is in partnership with the United Cerebral Palsy of Michigan. This is a financial loan program to provide financial loans specifically for the purchase of assistive technology. And as Jileesa shared, our AT Exchange is kind of like a Craigslist for AT related used equipment. So if you've got equipment that you're looking to sell or donate, you can connect with people that are looking for that equipment. It's a good way for used equipment to change hands.
And to request a demo with us or a short-term loan, we do a individualized meeting, or you would do an individualized meeting with an AT specialist. We review how the product works for you and compare the features. And Ajane has put in our chat the demo line and also the link to our demo website.
Yeah. Um,
So,
we
go
typically
ahead.
we typically keep these sessions really informal. We like to have interaction and have fun. So we are asking you to please um, interact throughout the session today. Feel free to unmute yourself, raise your hand, type in the chat. However you prefer to interact. We're going to be describing the pictures and things on the slides as a point of access for everyone. And then Asian is also going to be reading what's going on in the chat so that no one is missing out on anything. And we're going to be asking a few questions of you throughout the session today too. So the picture on this slide is of a light bulb drawn within a chalk drawing of a thought bubble. So one of the first things I wanted to do is just share a picture of my own garden plot. This is my raised garden bed that I used last summer. Um, I don't know if you could tell, but I'm growing green beans here. I When I was little, my dad always had a garden, and he used to take me out of my wheelchair and dump me in the dirt, and I would be responsible for um, poking the holes for the green beans in the ground. That was my very important job. So I always grew up with a love of growing green beans and just eating them right off right off the vine raw. So this year I used my raised garden bed and part of my dog's kennel crate that created a nice little trellis. So I wondered if we could just start out by talking a little bit about what do you like to grow in your garden?
Feel free to unmute or write in the chat any things that you like to grow in your garden.
I know
Yeah, I
one
also
thing that,
tried to grow
oh,
radishes. Whoops, sorry, Jileesa. I also
sorry.
tried to grow radishes this year, but this past year in the photo, but they didn't come up. Cherry tomatoes, always cherry tomatoes are great. Yep. Molly, what else?
This is Jaleesa here. Our family really has a large garden, and last year we did a bunch of different berries, as that's what my daughter loves to eat. So strawberries and raspberries and blackberries, and then along with cherry tomatoes and cucumbers and squash.
Steven
Thank
said greens and kale. And Jamie said she's thinking about starting one. Hi, Jamie.
Hi, Jamie. I really hope you get some good ideas on how to start your garden today.
Hey everybody.
Are you
Yeah,
are you a first-time gardener?
yes. So my family garden, my grandma used to garden and she used to take me out with her, but I have not ventured into it myself. So I'm hoping to get some ideas and some resources about how to get a raised garden bed or how I can start like a big pot garden.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna go over some raised garden beds and things today. So, um, who else?
Virginia
What else
loves
we
to
got?
grow tomatoes, eggplant, zucchini, but the deer ate them all.
That's what happened with all of my in the background of this picture you can see my garden plot. That's in the background on the ground. That's not the one that I tended to so much as the green beans, but a lot of that stuff got eaten by deer. Lettuce and my green peppers, that really made me sad. Well, thanks for sharing, everyone. I really do hope you get some more ideas of how to grow and things that you can grow today. So, just some topics that we're going to cover today. We're going to cover types of beds and indoor gardening options. We're going to cover different types of gardening tools, hoses and sprayers. We're going to talk about some tools for seeding, some AT tools for weeding. I think we could all use some tools for that because weeds never end. And then the best part of it is for the harvest. So some AT products to help with gathering gathering your harvest and what you've grown. So just wanted to start out by talking a little bit about what makes a garden accessible. As I was putting together this presentation, I recognized that a lot of different people use a lot of different words for um, their plots, their raised garden beds. So for some people, a raised garden bed can simply be um, a rectangular box built out of 2x4s, as in this picture in the top. That's about 12 to 18 inches off the ground and filled with dirt. This can help you control the soil quality and make things a little bit more easily manipulated. But for someone who needed support with had trouble bending or needed something waist high, these types of raised garden beds don't typically work. So when I talk about a raised garden bed, I'm talking more of the type that you can see on the bottom row of pictures here. The first one we have is a raised garden bed that is about chest height to me in my wheelchair. I can roll underneath it. It's got 4 legs, and you can grow about 7 square feet of fruits and or vegetables or herbs or flowers in it. I had one of these the first year that I started gardening, and I really did like this garden bed. I wish I had known that a lot of people in the do-it-yourself world recommended bracketing the corners of the garden bed to make it a little bit more sturdy. It does have a weight capacity of 200 pounds, and I tried growing some really heavy things in it my first year. And so between the watering and the heaviness, when I tried to move it at the end of the season, the whole thing fell apart. So lesson learned there. I needed something with a little bit more sturdiness. So the garden bed that I have now is the one that's in the second row. It's got very sturdy legs from front to back, which are more like a foot or two in length. And it's got two depths. The bed itself has two depths, so you can plant something a little deeper on the bottom near the back of the garden bed, and then near the front, it's raised up a little higher to grow something at potentially a different height. Um, I like this because I can access the garden bed on all sides, and I feel like the legs, because they make up the whole side of the garden bed, are much more sturdy, and I'm less likely to knock into it or knock it over. So those are some differences. There is definitely a price difference in these two. The first one, you can get a garden bed like that for about $100. Um, the other ones are looking more at like $200 to $300. Um, the one next to that, we have a blue cart with wheels. This is a nice little elevated garden bed. Um, it is on wheels so that you can move it, and has a rack on the bottom so that you can keep your gardening tools there. That's by a company called Sunny Days, which sells a lot of gardening products. And then in the upper right-hand corner, I have a vertical gardening, five-tiered vertical gardening. I guess it's like a rack. It reminds me more like a magazine rack. And so some people prefer to grow that way and grow vertically. Um, so that's another option. Okay. And one thing that I did want to mention is that when you are looking around for these products, a lot of different terms are used. Some people again call them raised garden beds, or ADA compliant or barrier free, or wheelchair accessible. All of these will come up with different configurations of garden beds. So on your resource guide, I've given an example of each of these types that we've looked at. Again, they're just examples. We're not endorsing any one product, just trying to kind of get an overview of what's out there. So if outdoor gardening isn't really your thing, or you want to start a little bit smaller, you can always start with an indoor garden. I have two indoor garden products here that are kind of neat. The one on the left is called the Grow LED. It has a smart timer. You put your own pots in there, so you can grow up to 8 little pots. This is really meant for smaller herb gardens. It does say that you can grow vegetables, small vegetables, I would think. Um, so it has a light on it with a timer. It's 16 hours on, 8 hours off. Really kind of takes the guesswork out of the lighting. They do say that growing is faster, growing it hydroponically this way. I have not tried indoor gardening yet, so I don't know. The other product on this page is called the Arrow Garden. This can grow up to 6 plants for up to 12 inches. Both of these indoor gardening products come with a 20-watt light. This one actually, the Arrow Garden, comes with a place to put your plant food and your water, and you can set it to vacation mode, and it can basically take care of itself if you put enough in there. And it'll let you know when it's low, it needs to be watered, and the plant food needs to be put in as well. So that's a nice way to get started if you're not really sure what you're doing. Um, Doing the indoor gardening might be a way to go. So then thinking about if you do have a garden plot, what are some garden tools that are more accessible that you may be able to use? I found a couple of gardening tools that are extendable. The first one on the screen on the left is called the Irgi shovel. It is a that is a garden heavy duty garden rake. It's got an extra handle on the end to help with the ergonomics of it. The other one is by a company called Corona. They make extendable garden tools. They go up to 48 inches. So this one on the head of this is a rake, but they also have holes and cultivators and weeders and different things that can attach and extend onto those as well. So that may be a way if you're unable to bend over, using something that's extendable will allow you to reach further without as much work and bending over. Looking at some hand tools, the first ones on this slide are from a company called Radius Garden, and they have these hand tools are ergonomically shaped, and their handles are shaped kind of like umbrellas, so they're very ergonomic to hold. These come with a trowel, a cultivator, a garden fork, and a weeder set. So we have these available through the AT program. Also on this slide is a product called the Easy Grip gardening tools. They have a handle that's at a 90-degree angle, so you can grab the handle with your hand. There's also a support cuff that you can add to these products. So that's it comes with a extender, and on the end of it, you can put the arm cuff that allows you to use your forearm for gardening instead of trying to use your hand itself. And those are interchangeable with all of the products. So the so you can buy. We have a four-piece set. I'm sorry, a 3-piece set of the Easy Grip tools with the 90-degree handles and then the support cuffs. These also come in a long-handled version that you can see at the bottom of the screen. That you can also add the support cuff to. Another another product that this company offers is just the handles themselves that you can add on to your existing garden tools. So if having that handle at 90 degrees is easier for you to hold on to, you can just buy the grips themselves and add them to your existing garden tools. But I do like the cup itself. I found when I was using that, I was able to use a lot easier than trying to um, just use my hands because I have some fine motor issues. And so that may be helpful if you're looking to use more of your whole arm while you garden.
Laura, 1 second.
Yeah.
It looks like Stephen has their hand up.
Oh, yeah.
There, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry to interrupt your wonderful presentation here. I unfortunately have to leave in 5 minutes to go to another for the Medicaid waiver program, the Zoom call. And so is there going to be a recording where I can watch the entire thing, this meeting?
Yes, we are recording right now, and we will send out the recording after the presentation today.
Can I quickly share my things because I gotta leave in 5 minutes?
Absolutely. I'd love if you would. Yes.
Okay, I used to grow in the flower garden around my apartment, grow vegetables, and then they said you can't do that. So I set up a table on my patio porch, got what they call grow bags. They're on Amazon, they're not expensive. And they're like a pod, only they're made out of cotton canvas type thing. And they have worked well for the last few years for me. So with them being on the table, and then, for example, when I had to go into a nursing home for a while, for about 6 weeks, I had friends that came over, picked up the bags and took them home and cared for them until I came back, and then brought the bags back. So that was advantageous for my handicapness, so to speak.
So everything you needed to grow was in the bag itself?
Yes, the dirt goes in the bag. You can look them up on Amazon, type in grow bag, and they have handles on them. And they come in various sizes. You can even get big enough to grow potatoes deep in the ground and carrots. And they're usually black or gray colored. And then like that, those units you showed, the one with the cart with the wheels, they could actually sit inside of that,
Hmm.
or you could just use an old kitchen table or one of those half tables is what I have, take up half space. And then just pile the bags on there, and they just grow up there, and they grow better in those bags than they do in a pot, actually.
Wow. We will
So,
definitely have to check those out. Thank you for letting us know.
yeah, is
And
there,
I love that you shared that your setup really just involved kind of a folding table. I think, when we talk about what makes your garden accessible, it's really what makes it accessible for you. And it doesn't need to be sometimes something high tech. It can be something low tech, like a folding table. Now, if you're looking to have a community garden or something, you're going to want to look at the needs of everyone in that community. Um, because sometimes I've seen accessible gardens that are built without the input of people with disabilities, and then they turn out being inaccessible. But for personal gardens, finding those low tech things that work for you can be really important. Thank you for sharing, Stephen. I'm sorry you have to leave us, but thanks for joining today. We appreciate it.
thank you, and keep me on the mailing list or whatever.
Okay,
So
we will.
I don't know why these are set up with overlapping times like this, but I guess that happens.
Yeah, yeah.
So, okay, well, thank you very much.
All right.
Appreciate all you all do. Thank
Thank you.
you.
Okay, so sprayers and hoses is another area where we can find some technology that makes things a little easier. The big photo on this slide is of a fireman's hose, and it's titled that because of the grip that it has. It's shaped kind of like a bullhorn, um, and then it has a handle on the top that can be pushed back or forward to change the pressure. Um, these do have quite a bit of pressure in them, but they can also do like a fine mist as well. So they have different settings as well, and it's not all. It according to the marketing, it says that the pressure is enough to help you wash your car, or it could be enough for a light mist for a garden. I never used it to wash my car, but I used it to water the garden, and it worked really well. Um, Another one of my favorites for watering is in the upper right-hand corner. It's a wand by Melnor called Relax-A-Grip, and it you attach it to your hose. It has a watering wand that's got 8 different settings. And what I like about this is it has a mechanism on the top where you can use your thumb to adjust the pressure up and down. It just needs a little bit of movement from your thumb in order to get the pressure going and turn it back down. So for some people who have problems with gripping, and aren't able to hold that nozzle down the whole time, this is a really easy way to just kind of turn the water on and leave it, and then you can be really focused on getting all the areas of your garden. For me, trying to hold that down and then move the sprayer all over was a lot of trouble. But there are several different kinds of these type of watering wands that just need a push of a button or something to get started, and then you can focus on watering your garden. And then also looking at different types of hoses. There are a million different types of hoses out there. Um, and lightweight ones tend to work better for some people who would have trouble kind of lugging a heavy duty hose around the garden. The problem with the lighter weight hoses is that they're easier to puncture. Some of them have kind of a bungee cord material. And then, so I had one the last gardening season, and unfortunately, I went to try it out again, and it sprung all sorts of leaks from being dragged around the yard. So that didn't hold up very well. The one that I featured on the slide is called the Flexzilla. Um, so it's a lightweight hose that's got a coiling mechanism within it, so it's supposed to be non-kink. I don't know if we can ever really say that any hose is non-kink, um, but the way that it's coiled around itself, you're supposed to be able to pull it and uneasily uncoil. These come in 50-foot, 100-foot. You can even hook them together and then have a 200-foot hose. Looking around and doing research, from what I've read, it seems to be a good compromise between being lightweight but also being durable and lasting from season to season. Again, this is only an example, but definitely something to think about if lugging that hose around is hard. So seeding, I don't think a lot of people think about this part of gardening as much, especially when it comes to assistive technology, but there is technology out there to help you take the guesswork out of where to plant your seeds and how to plant them. Um, the first thing that we have is something called the seeding square, and this is it's just a plastic template that has different colors in it, and it comes with a seed dispenser, and the seed dispenser also doubles as a ruler. So you have on the side of this orange stick that comes with it are inches, so you know how deep to put your seed. But essentially, the seeding square comes with a template that's color coded. So, for example, I believe when I did green beans, for example, those were coded yellow on the template, and it told you how far to put them apart. And so then I would just put my seeds in all of the yellow circles, or if I was doing cauliflower or whatever, that might be in a red circle. So it kind of helps you to lay out your plot and know um, how far to put things apart. And similarly, there's also a picture of the Intervale. The company named Intervale makes a seeding ruler, just a very simple wooden ruler with some garden measurements written on it. Like, for example, peas are at 12 inches, beans are at 12 inches, lettuce is at 8 inches. So you can use this ruler. It's got holes in it, and it comes with a poking stick to poke in your seeds. And then in the far right hand corner is an example of a handheld seeder. You can adjust the top for the size of your seeds and how many you are trying to plant at once, and that will enable that many seeds to come out. I have used these with my fine motor problems. Sometimes these need fine motor skills as well to manipulate them. So they may not be the easiest to use, but if you look for hand seeding tools online, there are a variety of things that come up, including some trying to think of syringe type products where you can put the seed in a kind of a spring loaded syringe and then push it down and into the ground. So that's a good option for seeding as well. So different things to just kind of take the guesswork out of planting. I'm going to go to the next slide.
Laura, we did have a question.
Oh.
Mary Liz asked, she just said, I don't know if you have discussed raised garden beds yet. Has anyone worked out the cost of building wooden beds every few years versus a metal garden bed? Like, is it Vigo, VEGO? That costs more but lasts a lot longer.
We did talk about that a little. I'm sorry, Mary Liz, if you weren't on yet. We talked about garden beds on the very first slide. And I was sharing that in my first year of gardening, I had bought one of the wooden garden beds that were about $99 or so. And it really didn't last over the season. I've seen more videos now of those garden beds where people are reinforcing them on the corners with brackets to enable them to last a little longer and also weatherproofing them. My experience, and maybe you can share too, is it lasted me about a season or two, and then the whole thing fell apart from just the soil being, I think I grew, it also had a weight capacity of 200 pounds. So by the time you get your soil in there, and then you've watered all winter, or you watered all season, mine just kind of fell apart in a big pile of dirt. I don't know if that was your same experience. Um, so I was saying that I had purchased another garden bed, which was about $300, and this one was meant for a wheelchair to roll underneath that you can access it from both sides, and the garden bed itself was not just on four legs; it was on two legs, but the legs for the entire width of the garden bed, so more like a table, and less like a elevated planter. Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes sense to me, being
Yeah.
able to roll. And my issue isn't that I can't move my legs to get in close enough. I can stand and walk, but for me, it's always been the bending down or the kneeling.
Right, right. We're gonna have a few other things that we're gonna show for kneeling and trying to do those kind of things. So stay tuned. But thanks for sharing that you had a similar experience with the cheap beds versus the more expensive ones. You can buy metal raised beds as well. Again, it's like how raised do you need them to be? So um, there are some that come again 12 to 18 inches off the ground. There's others that you can raise up a bit higher. It's all about what you need and the needs of your community. So weeding is always going to be there, right? So we need some tools to deal with it. On this slide, I found a couple products to help with weeding. The first product that I found is called the Weed Zinger. So there are two pictures of this on the slide. Beginning on the left, it's a long, almost pogo stick looking device with a handle on it, and a place to put your foot at the bottom. So what you do is you step on this device with one foot, and if you look on your resource list, there's more information about this. They have a very overly dramatic video about how wonderful this product is, but showing that children can do it, that it's easy to do. So you step on it, you twist, you pop the weed out, and then it even comes with a backdrop target practice. So you can pop your weed into a garbage space, which I thought was quite funny. But that's a way that you can do weeding without having to bend over at all. So you can do it from a standing position. The other product that I found is called a Cobra Head. So this is just a very ergonomic hand weeding tool. It's got the ergonomic handle with the cushiony handle, and then the weeding device is like inside the head, the blade itself, so not exposed and sharp. but that again is for hand weeding. So I have yet to find some really great AT tools for weeding, but if you know of any other ones out there, please let me know, because we're always going to have to deal with weeds. Okay. Here's the other tools, Mary Liz, that I thought you might be interested in. We were just talking. I call these tending tools. I wasn't really sure how to categorize these, but these are just tools that can help with tending your garden. The first one on the left is called a Gorilla Grip kneeling pad. This is a really thick, sturdy foam kneeling pad. It's about an inch and a half. You can buy them in all different colors. I like that it has a nice grip for carrying it. So that could save your knees a bit. There's also lots of different types of garden kneelers and benches. So the one on this slide shown at the top, when the legs are folded down, it can act as a bench. And then if you flip it the other way, it can act as a kneeler, and then you can also use the legs to help you stand up. This has a weight capacity of 330 pounds, so can take quite a bit of weight. And then we have the garden scooters, which a lot of people are getting into now and making more of. The one that we have is by Sunny Days. This has a seat and a bin underneath to help carry your tools or whatever you might need to store in the bottom, and then you can sit and use your feet. We did share some of these products with the community garden last spring, and I know the garden cart was one of the favorites. We did get some feedback that they don't roll so well on wood chips, but I don't know anything that really would. So, but helpful for sitting to carry your tools and to tend to your garden. Um, and we bought a couple of these. One of them that we bought was extremely heavy and came with a flat tire, unfortunately, and was a pain in the neck to put together. Um, so look into these carefully. But we've found the one by Sunny Days has been helpful to quite a few people. Okay, how are we doing? Time here. Any questions so far? Nothing? Okay. So you've done all the work and now you need to harvest. And I know for me, one of the problems that I always had is how do I carry all this stuff that I'm growing now? Um, I have a tray on my wheelchair and I'd put vegetables and things on my tray, and then I'd find that they were rolling off and onto the ground before I could get them back to the house. So I was really interested in what assistive technology might be out there for harvesting and helping you get the fruits of your labor to your table, so to speak. So the first thing is a harness with a harvesting bucket. So you can distribute the weight across your shoulders and your back, and it's not all around your neck or on your shoulder. The weight is distributed. Also pictured in the upper right-hand corner is a 3-liter berry picking bucket. This goes around your waist. Um, I think it could be used for many things, not just berries. And I like the way that it attaches easily around your waist, leaving your hands free, and the rest of your body is free as well. And then there are many, many types of aprons and harvesting wearables, things that you can wear to help with carrying things and harvesting. This particular apron is called the Roo, as in kangaroo. So it has strings that you can pull out to easily let the produce out. But there are lots of different aprons and shirts and things that you can use for gathering that you don't need your hands in order to use them. Okay. So we're a little bit early, but I'm wondering, did anybody see anything new today they hadn't seen before? Janae, is there anything in the chat that we've missed?
Nope.
I was not aware of the garden bags that Steven told us about. It's really exciting.
Hi,
This
this is Jamie
this
sharing again. I was just gonna say I enjoyed the presentation. So everything that y'all showed me today was very new to me and it's very encouraging that I can do this accessibly. And maybe it'll be a fun activity for me and my son to do together.
Yeah. And if there's any of these products that you're looking to borrow or needing to get your garden set up, Jamie, we do the device demonstrations, and so we'd be happy to show you some of these products and have you borrow them for a short period of time if that's helpful. Or if you're out there and you have a community garden and you're interested in any of these things, let us know. We'd like to work with you to create an accessible community garden as well.
Oh, thank you.
Virginia asked what was the name of the hose that was on the slide. Was it the Flexzilla?
That was the Flexzilla, yes.
Okay. And then Audra said, thank you for a great presentation. She works at Public Botanic Gardens. We're trying to start a horticultural therapy program. This was very helpful.
Great. Yeah, we'd love to talk more if you would like.
And Tammy has their hand raised.
Hi, everyone. My name is Tammy Black, and I'm from Manistee Community Treehouse Center in Detroit. Hi, Jamie. I know Jamie. I'm chiming in because I do have a horticultural therapy program, and I also have a wheelchair accessible garden. So I would love if you guys could help me out with some of the products that, people who garden in our garden could use and make it easier for gardening. I would love to have you guys guide us through that.
We would love to help. Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Our email addresses are on the resource guide and are also at the beginning of the presentation. Jileesa, Janae, would you mind dropping them in the chat?
Yes. Tammy, I do have your contact information. I received your form yesterday, so we will be in contact with you. Thank you, Tammy.
Great. Thanks a lot. All right.
And Mary Liz says, thank you for the survey of available tools. Makes it easier to find what we need to make gardening easier. And yes, I'm going to put the resource guide in the chat again for everyone to be able to access the products, the links to the products. And then also if there was something that you were interested in and you wanted to request a one-on-one demonstration, I'm going to put that information in the chat as well. And Laura or another AT specialist can assist you with the demo.
Mm-hmm. We'd love to help out. Is anybody aware of any other AT products that you didn't see here today? I admit that I am not a master gardener. I have never grown flowers. So if you're a flower grower, I'm sure there are tools for that. I've seen that there are pruning shears and loppers. I'm not even sure what a lopper is, but it looked easy to use. Any other products? I'll have to check out those grow bags. We do have a few minutes left, and we have a short survey that we would like people to fill out. It helps us to know that we're on the right track, but also we are federally funded, so it helps us collect some data for our funders. Janae, are we able to put that survey in the chat?
Yes, it is in the chat under training survey link.
And in addition to all the gardening products that you've seen today, we have a full inventory of other assistive technology available as well for demonstration and short-term loan. Things for daily living, things for low vision. We have AT for gaming, AT for parenting with a disability. So we would love for you to contact us and see what we can help you with if there's something that you want to get back to or are looking for an easier way to do in your life. Thank you so much for joining us today. If there aren't any questions, I think we'll wrap up. So I'll just close it one more time. Any questions?
I have a question. These links that have been put into the chat, is there a way to get them sent to us, maybe by email?
Yes, after the training, you're going to receive a thank you email that'll have all these links in the email as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, well, I hope this was helpful. I swear spring is coming. It doesn't look like it right now, but in a few short weeks, I think it's going to be here, and I'm excited to get those gardens started. So we would love to help you out in any way we can. Thank you for joining us today, and we hope that you'll join us for our next Tech Tuesday, which is on March 8th. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.